Hello all you shining stars, welcome to my channel ShiningStarSoup. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be breaking down Boxycharm for the last 8 or 9 months. I thought it'd be fun to go through my Boxycharm subscriptions. I have gotten Boxycharm consistently. I believe there wasn't a month I missed between March and November. I'm going to be basically doing an overview. I reviewed my old videos. I have different reactions now to the products that I got in Boxycharm compared to when I actually unboxed them. And I'm going to be telling my top months for Boxycharm, my bottom months for Boxycharm, and giving them each month their own ratings. So how I'm rating this, I'm doing it 5 out of 5. So 5 months being that all the 5 out of 5 stars being all the products were awesome. If I give it a 5 out of 5 rating, they were great products. I used them, ended up being like some of my favorites. 4 out of 5 meaning I enjoyed the box, but I didn't use all the items. 3 out of 5 being that there are only 1 or 2 items that I actually used. 2 being I should have saved my money, and I don't know if I've actually rated any of the boxes 1 out of 5, but if I have, that means that box was complete junk. And keep in mind, my breaking down Boxycharm over a few months is my own personal opinion. You might have really enjoyed items that I didn't like, or you might have really liked items that I didn't enjoy. This is just my own personal breaking down Boxycharms from the months of March to November. Now, I did start unboxing and ordering Boxycharm back in March. So let's review March's Boxycharm. Now, the one thing about March, it was my first month, and this was a month where Boxycharm shipments were delayed because of a tornado in the area. So a lot of people during the month of March were getting their boxes really late. Some people were upset about it. Most of us understood. I mean, these things happen. Boxycharm obviously couldn't push out the shipments if the mail wasn't moving, kind of thing. So I won't be showing pictures. I will just be referring to what the items were in the box, just because it would take a lot of time for me to find the items, and I just didn't feel like it. So you will see what the items were with my shiny little stars, and I will give a little bit of an explanation on to how I felt about them. Alright, so for March Boxycharm, we did have 2 Moda brushes, and there was a powder brush and a highlight brush. So there you go, Moda brushes. I did end up using the powder brush, and the highlighting brush I think wasn't stiff enough. So I did end up either giving that away, or I think I might have just tossed it. But I did really like those brushes. The other one was the Wonder Beauty Peel Off Mask. And if any of you remember, it was a mask where they made it, Wonder Beauty made it exclusively for Boxycharm. I did not like that at all. I didn't enjoy it. I think I maybe used it once, and it was so terrible. I was just like, I'm not even going to waste my time. So that was definitely a disappointment. It was like a rose color because there was a rose theme going on in March. The other item was the Appeal Liquid Eyeshadow. I did not enjoy that at all. I maybe used it once. And the one item that I did enjoy was the Ofra Monaco lipstick. It was a popular color. Everybody got that color, but I loved it. It was definitely ended up being one of my favorites. I used it for like 3 months once I started wearing it. It was a perfect color for my skin tone, that Ofra lipstick. And of course the Cover FX palette. Now, back in March, there was a thing where there was a mix-up where people with light tones were getting the medium toned, and the people with medium tones were getting, you know, the light tones, and it was a whole big mess. I remember as I was filming the video, I was really happy that I got the right shade, which was the light to medium. Now, I actually ended up really liking that Cover FX palette, especially for the contour shades and the blush shades and the finishing powder. It really worked well for me, and I will hopefully be repurchasing that palette, even though it's like $60 at Sephora. I have seen it on Poshmark for anywhere between $30 and $35, so I'm hoping to make that a repurchase because it's all in one. It had the highlighter, the brightener, the contour shade, so I was really happy with that. My favorite items in that March box were the Moda Brushes, the Cover FX palette, and the Ofra. And the least favorite, of course, was the Peel Off Mask and the Appeal Liquid Eyeshadow. Now, I did give March an overall personal rating of 4 out of 5. Just because more items I loved than items that I loathed. And I really ended up liking the palette by Cover FX, the brush, and the lipstick. So March Boxycharm was a really good way to start off my Boxycharm craze. Now, I did get the April box. Now, the April box, I would have to say, was one of the most disappointing boxes, if not the most disappointing boxes in all the months I got Boxycharm. That one had the Artist Couture Loose Powder Highlighter. It was a beautiful color, but I tell you, when I went to use it, I opened it and you really had to tug to open it, and I think a lot of unboxings had this problem. All of the product ended up in the sink. Every last speck of loose powder highlighter went in the sink. So that was a definite disappointment right from the start. There was also a Power Up Mascara that hold that thought. My computer is doing a very strange thing right now. There we go. Alright, so back to April. The Power Up Mascara, I wasn't impressed with either. It clumped a lot when I tried it. You also got a Beauty For Real liner. I didn't really use it. It had like a race track, if you guys remember it. It had like racing checkers on the lid. That was a very disappointing product. Did not do well at all. Luxie eyeshadow brushes. There was a set of 3 in April's box. I think I only have 1 out of the 3 that were left. They were the ones that were had the ombre effect on the handle. It went from orange to yellow. And then last but not least, the Pure Festival palette. That shade range, it did not really work for me. I don't remember what I did with that palette. All that I know is that I don't have it. I might have tossed it. I might have given it to a coworker. I don't remember. But either way, April, my overall rating for April was 2 out of 5. The only items that I really liked in that April box was the Luxie brushes. And then, though, to be fair, I made a little note to myself that I didn't really give the eyeshadow palette a chance. I would have skipped April in hindsight. Alright. So, I mean, comparing March to April, March was great and April was not. Now we are moving on to the May box. May box was another disappointing box for me. May box was where I should have probably canceled and just kept it canceled till September, but you know, you live and learn. Anyway, the May had the Glam Glow Cleanser in it, which that product actually worked really good as a brush cleaner. I was amazed by how well it worked on my brushes. There was a dose of color. There was a Merlot lip shade, which was terrible. I wore it for half of the video and it just made me look like a clown. I ended up just tossing dose of colors, or however you pronounce that, right in the garbage. The Ciate London Eyelustre Cream Eyeshadow. It looked good in the bottle. It looked good swatch, but on the eyes just didn't really work, and it made me realize I don't really like cream eyeshadows. So that product was definitely a disappointment for me. There was the Alamar Blush Trio, only one color would actually have worked in that little trio, which was a middle one. It was a pink shade. I didn't actually use the trio. I ended up tossing it. Again, in hindsight, whatever. And there was also a midnight blue eyeliner pencil that I did end up giving away. So for me, my rating was 2 out of 5. The only product I actually liked was the Glam Glow, which I ended up using for a totally different purpose, to clean my brushes. Yeah. Alright, so June. June was my first and only Boxyluxe month. And with June, I got a Dominique Cosmetics lip gloss. It wasn't that bad. The No Pore Problem Prime Essence was a big disappointment over time. The first couple times I used it were good. The second time, it just didn't live up to me. Like, it didn't really live up to its expectations. We'll just say that. The Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow was the serum that had the high acid content that I ended up using, it ended up burning my skin, so I only used it twice. And then I ended up throwing it out, or I ended up giving it away. I think I ended up giving it to a coworker because the Honeymoon Glow did not work for me. I got a hairdryer. The hairdryer was nice. My husband used it more than I actually have because I don't really use hairdryers. I do tend to air dry my hair, but he ended up using the hairdryer for, I don't remember what he used it for. It wasn't for drying his hair, I'll just say that. The Tristique mascara, not bad. It was the one that had the eyelash curler on the end. It wasn't too bad for curling the eyelashes. The Living Proof Thickening Cream, I ended up giving that away because my hair is already thick enough as it is. Yeah. The Skin & Company face mist, I really enjoyed it. A lot of people complain about the smell, but I really liked the smell. And it was kind of like a, well, it wasn't really toner, but it was more of a setting mist. I still have it. I still use it. I'm almost empty on it, but I did really enjoy it. And then, of course, I got Tarte, the Hydrobiotic Cleanser by Dr. Brandt. I used that up right away. Tarte eyeshadow palette. It was one of the seashell palettes. They reused old packaging on that one. I ended up getting 2 of them, but that's coming up next. And yeah, so for the Boxyluxe, I gave it a 3 out of 5 rating. I did use the eyeshadow palette, got some use out of the hairdryer, really liked the face mist, and I really liked the cleanser. I'm still on the fence as to if it was worth upgrading. I'm not sure yet, but at the end of the video, I will give a summary of what were my top months, what were my bottom months, and what were like right in the middle for me. And in June, I did get a regular Boxycharm, and this one was disappointing, very disappointing. In the regular Boxycharm, I did get the Steve Laurant Jelly Highlighter. That highlighter had the exact consistency of ColourPop highlighters, because I did get the Disney collection, and it was like the exact same shimmer, exact same feeling. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't one of my faves. I got a duplicate Tarte eyeshadow palette, same one that I got in the Boxyluxe. I got a duplicate No Pore Problem, which I ended up giving away because, again, it was a double and I got it in Boxyluxe. The Wonder Beauty sheet masks, the purple ones, terrible. Waste of space. I hated those. They just tore apart, and I just didn't like those sheet masks, so they were definitely a disappointment. And then I got the Dominique Cosmetics, another duplicate, even though it was the different flavor. There was lemon tea and then there was iced tea or something like that, and I got 2 separate ones. So Boxycharm for June definitely got a 1 out of 5, actually, because looking back, the sheet masks were terrible and everything else was just duplicate items. So that box was a waste of money completely for me. I could have done without it, so that was a definite 1 out of 5, and my lowest rated box for the entire months of Boxycharm. Breaking down, still continuing, we are on to July. July was another month. The month that I got my Boxycharm in July, it came in a plastic bag from Canada Post because the box was just ruined. It must have gotten wet or something. I think there was a lot of rain happening in July, and that Boxycharm box just got ruined. I got the Elemis Superfood mask, which I don't like wash-off masks, and I don't like peel-off masks. That mask just went to my mother-in-law. Lexi brushes, I don't even have them anymore. I think I might have given one to my mother-in-law as well. There was a set of 3, and one was kind of a brush that you could use to brush on the Elemis mask. There was the Butter London eyeshadow palette. Again, it wasn't terrible. I just didn't really get much use out of it. Gel liner was just garbage. I got no use out of the gel eyeliner that was in there. And there was an Alamar Lip Gloss. I think I used that item twice, and I just got rid of it because I didn't like it. And that was July was another Boxycharm month that got a 1 out of 5. Just, I could have skipped it. I could have done without it. All right, August. August was when they picked things up. You know, like June was a disappointment. July was a disappointment. August was good. Good August. Not as great as a couple of my favorite months, but August was pretty good. August had the Glow Ahead face oil. And I think that was another one specially made for Boxycharm. It was in a pink container. That one, I didn't so much like it for the face, but for the hair, it was awesome. It tamed the frizz aways very good. So yeah, the face oil was really great. Big Ego Mascara by Tarte. I really like it. I'm actually using it right now. So that was a nice one. The Steve Laurent lip liner. This one was terrible. It ended up, it was really hard and stiff, and it wasn't creamy at all when I tried to apply it on the lips. That just went right in the garbage. The Becca Set and Refresh powder, I ended up being really impressed with that. The Set and Refresh powder by Becca. And the Ace Beauty eyeshadows. You got a duo, and I was really impressed with those. They were the exact same formula as ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows, but the colors were really nice and went really well together, so I was very happy. August box definitely made one of the top, and that got a 4 out of 5 rating. It would have been 5 out of 5 had that lip liner not have been so terrible. Just being honest with you. Again, all my personal opinion. Alright, so for September. September was my first 5 out of 5 Boxycharm month. And we got the set of 5 Moda brushes, eyeshadow brushes. I use every single one. I really like them. And I definitely like how on the brush it actually lists what the brush is for. It says crease brush. It says shadow brush. It's really helpful, and those brushes are awesome and amazing. I got another Becca Set Refresh powder, which is great because I really wanted it. That was a bonus add-on as well for September if you rejoined. I got a Hank & Henry liquid eyeliner. I wish I would have given this a chance instead of giving it away. I recently dived into eyeliner, and I don't know if you can tell, I did use the liner designer that I got in my FabFitFun box that I'm actually really impressed with and I found really helped. So I wish I would have kept that eyeliner personally. The Dr. Brandt Hydrobiotic Sleeping Mask. I still use this product. I really like it. And of course the Laura Gellar Swirl Illuminator, which is the highlighter. I really loved that. I was not expecting to love it as much as I do, but it was definitely an A++ for me. And then, of course, the Violet Voss eyeshadow palette. I was so happy that I got the Violet Voss eyeshadow palette. It was one of the lower priced palettes that they had offered in September, but I'm over the moon about that palette. There was a little fallout, but nothing that, can't be shaken off, and I was pleased, happy as punch with the colors. So yeah, September was a 5 out of 5 for Boxycharm. Alright, October. I got 3 boxes in October. All right, the first box came with, or the second box, the second unboxing that I did had the Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping product. It's not bad, it's just not, I'm not as impressed with it as I expected to be. Prettier in person than actually trying to use the product because the contours actually end up being too dark for me. Like I really have to blend it out, and only one, the middle shade, actually works out for me. All right, and then there was the Sassy Sienna's Dosa Color eyeshadow palette. That one I ended up selling on Poshmark. It was kind of a red, reddish brown. Not bad, didn't work for me. Smashbox Eyeliner, I did end up giving that to Leah McDonald. We did a mystery gift exchange. The iconic Prep Set and Glow was definitely the product that brought this whole box to a screeching halt. Yeah, I sprayed it, and it got all over my shirt that I was wearing for my first day at work. I had to throw the shirt in the wash, and I threw the Prep Set Glow out because it got all over my clothes. So recommendation, if you do have that product, if you're still watching this video up until this point, I'm impressed. Just saying that right now. Yeah, don't be wearing anything at all if you're going to be spraying your face with that Prep Set Glow. Hank and Henry mascara was really the only thing in the box I was very happy to get. I haven't dived into it yet, but I do plan on it. And cheap set of tweezers. Big disappointment. So the top box, or the Boxycharm that had the face shaping palette got a rating of 3 out of 5. Basically, it was the mascara and the dose of colors that kind of saved that box, and the Tarte was okay. Okay, the next one, again, I got another October box. This one had the Touch and Soul primer in it, the glassy primer. Better than the No Pore Problem liquid drops. Not as good as the No Pore Problem pink squeezy bottle. I got the Paula exfoliant toner. I was very happy to get that in the box because a lot of people did not get the Paula. Most of the people got the iconic. They didn't get the Paula, so I got one of the variations that had the toner in it. That one came with an iconic lip gloss. It's a nice lip gloss, a lip liner in red lip liner. I passed that along. Didn't understand why I got the red lip liner with the nude lip gloss. It's really confusing. And then of course the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette. I do remember that eyeshadow palette, actually using it was disappointing, but when I rewatched the videos I kind of liked the colors, so I'm wishing that I wouldn't have gotten rid of that one. But that box with the Paula's Choice got 3 out of 5 just because of the Paula's Choice. That bumped it up for me as far as the rating goes. Alright, my third October box was the most disappointing because it was all repeats. And the only thing that saved this box was I got the Tarte cheek palette that I really wanted. That was the only thing that saved this the third October box. Butter London palette, again, was a repeat. Touch and Soul primer, repeat. Tweezers, terrible, and a repeat. Iconic lip gloss, repeat. And the mascara, a repeat from actually June. I don't know why I got the mascara that I was getting in June, Boxylex. I got it in October's box. I didn't get it. Anyway, 2 out of 5. And again, the only saving grace really was the Tarte cheek palette. I liked that palette so much that I bumped that up to a 2 out of 5 rating. Now my last box, Boxycharm. My Boxycharm I'm going to have till March, by the way, because I did get a 6-month subscription. November. I am so happy to be ending this video with a bang because November's box is definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. Boxycharm brushes, great. I really liked them. They're very dense. They're very fluffy. Honestly, I haven't had a chance to actually use them, but I'm happy to have them. The Dose of Colors lipstick is a very nice nude shade, and I'm so happy I didn't get a red. The Caprice serum, I did actually end up selling that on Poshmark, and that serum sold really quickly. So I was very happy to have that. The Celestial Thunder was a very nice eyeshadow palette. That one was another one that I did sell on Poshmark just because I have enough eyeshadows right now. And I didn't really think the money was worth it more than actually having the palette was to me for this month of November. But I was definitely impressed. And the Tula sheet masks. I used one the other day. I love sheet masks, especially Tula. Did not disappoint. So we got a 5 out of 5. So out of all the boxes, let's look at the ranking. So the top months for Boxycharm was March, August, September, October with the Paula's Choice, just because I was glad I got the variant, and November. Now for the bottom months, which were the most disappointing for me, April, May, June, July, and the October Fear of Missing Out box, the one that came with pretty much everything was a duplicate, and that FOMO was basically the only saving grace was the Tarte cheek palette. And of course, and then I have the ones that were neither bottom or the top, just kind of settled in the middle. June Boxy Luxe and the October box with the iconic London. Now, doing my final breaking down review, going over all the items and watching the videos. And am I still happy with Boxycharm? Yes. I had 5 months, more boxes that I was disappointed in than more boxes that I really loved. I will have to admit that. And the months that I definitely could have done without was April, May, June regular box, July, and I could have done with one of the October boxes. But again, that October Fear of Missing Out box did get that Tarte cheek and blush palette that I really love. Alright, so if all you Shining Stars, if you have stayed with me this long, thank you. I just felt like I could do one of these videos to kind of break down, kind of as a part of my life-changing journey. You know, breaking down subscription boxes where I'm going to break down the items that I got and what I enjoyed the most and giving them ratings overall. I can do probably FabFitFun, Ipsy, Top Box. There's a lot that I can do, but I wanted to start off with Boxycharm because Boxycharm has been a subscription that has been most consistent on my channel, and I'll still be getting till March of 2020. Alright, I hope all you Shining Stars have a shining star day, and keep on shining stars.